We have breaking news from the NHL this morning. The Ottawa Senators have locked up another big piece of their future, signing Shea Pinto to a 4-year extension. We'll discuss the contract, how it affects him and the team, coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some pretty significant breaking news, especially if you're a fan of the Ottawa Senators. They've locked up Shea Pinto on a 4-year extension. Now, Shea Pinto has certainly come on strong to his game over the past couple of seasons and proven to be an extremely valuable piece for the Senators moving forward. Of course, they get into the playoffs last year for the first time, going on 8 years, and they certainly want to continue to build on that. And Pinto's role, both as a strong two-way player and a pretty good goal scorer, has proven to be a big part of the team's success. We've heard all about the negotiations going on really ever since the end of the season into the summertime. It was pretty apparent that the Senators were going to have to up the ante here and pay him somewhere in between Tim Stützle, who makes a little over $8 million, and Dylan Cousins, who makes a little over $7 million. And that's exactly what happened. There was word that they originally started off around that 5.5 to 6 range. Then they came up to 6.5. And it's like, well, he's proven that he's as valuable, if not more so, to be honest, completely more so, because he's a stronger two-way player than Dylan Cousins, who's making $7.1 million. So I don't see him accepting anything below that. And of course, Timmy Stützle is a little bit more of a dynamic player. He's not going to go quite up into that range over 8, but they settle on $7.5 million 4-year contract extension. That contract in the final 2 years as well, which is the earliest he'd be eligible, does have a modified no-trade clause, giving him a 10-team list that he can block as well. So nothing too major on that front. But $7.5 million for what Shea Pinto gets you in today's economy with today's cap hit is really pretty fair overall. I mean, look at what he did last year. He's proven at this point that he can be a 20-goal scorer, help you kill penalties. He's dangerous shorthanded, good on faceoffs, and this helps Ottawa as well lock up another, like I said, not only key piece of their future, but it really gives them that strength down the middle where a lot of teams obviously build out from. They've got Tim Stützle, Dylan Cousins, and now Shea Pinto all on long-term contracts, all pretty reasonable, anywhere from $7 just over $8 million for your top 3 centermen who can be productive as they are. That's pretty good value overall. I mean, this gives the Senators and Pinto buys up his remaining time as a restricted free agent years, buys a couple of unrestricted free agent years. It also helps the team as well balance when contracts are expiring. Like, for example, this coming season or off season in the summer, Drake Batherson will be entering the final year of his deal, so he's extension eligible. Then you've got Brady Tkachuk's got 2 more years after this one. You got Timmy's locked up longer term, Cousins, Pinto. It kind of all helps balance it out. Then, of course, you get Sanderson, Chabot on the back end. It just kind of really helps the team not have to deal with too many big contracts at one given time. We know Shea Pinto's agent tends to drive a hard bargain, so this is certainly, I think, nice for the team to be able to move on from. The Senators, of course, announced a bit of a tease this morning, putting up a social media post, a picture of Pinto and Steve Staios, the GM, saying that they had a new podcast dropping soon, because the Sens do have a team podcast by their director of communications, Ian Mendez, and where they've been interviewing players. They just started it a few weeks back, but ultimately, I assume they're going to obviously give us an episode chatting about the extension. I assume this was probably agreed to yesterday, which coincidentally was also Shea Pinto's birthday. So obviously a nice birthday present for him, for it to be announced so early this morning, to have a podcast recorded. Yeah, I suspect that they probably had this all buttoned up yesterday. Steve Staios, when he addressed the media just a couple of days ago at what he referred to as like his quarter part of the season, addressed, if you will, to speak to the media, he did indicate that he was quite confident a deal with Pinto would get done, and he also indicated that he'd be having a face-to-face meeting with his agent very soon. So obviously that all materialized. We have a contract now, $7.5 million, 4-year deal for Shea Pinto. Let me know your thoughts on the news here on the contract extension for Pinto in the comments. We'll discuss further. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the news, rumors, and analysis of all 32 NHL teams. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.